Because of my kids, I have to navigate life with my ex. How do I do that? Welcome to the Therapy Brothers podcast.
I'm Brannon.
I'm Tyler.
We're brothers.
We're therapists.
And we know recovery.
Bring your stories, your questions, your successes with real recovery.
Hey, Tyler, you ready to have some hard conversations?
Let's do it.
Let the Therapy Brothers podcast begin. Hey, Tyler.
Brannon, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too. Anything new going on in your life?
Yeah. Well, I actually felt bad. We were going to come down and watch your daughters play this weekend. And then I had my daughter and her boyfriend show up from college. And then it was like this weird energy and something was off. And then finally, like, my daughter grabs her sisters and my wife, and they're like, "Hey, we got to go do this errand." And so I'm stuck with nothing but my daughter's boyfriend. And I'm like, well, let's go take the dog for a run, I guess. And then
you know what's happening.
And then I'm like, oh, crap, like
coming.
Here it comes. And I've got all these like stirring emotions of like, oh man, now I got another daughter that's going to be gone again. And yeah, he asked me so it's the weirdest thing, because he comes and he like asks like he's sincerely asking permission to marry my daughter, when in reality he could just look at me with two bird fingers and be like, "Hey, I'm going to marry your daughter."
Yeah.
But we had we had a really good conversation, and now I'm just stuck. Like, you could tell my energy was off today a little bit, Brannon, right when we jumped on, and it's like I got all this like fatherhood stuff churning inside of me, I hope they're going to be all right. And like, what questions should I be asking? And like, what, it's like, okay, like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Like, she's got a good head on her shoulders. She's picked a good guy. They're going to be really good together. Like, they're going to create a great life. But as a father, you just can't help but have some of that run through you still.
Yeah. Sorry, Tyler, I was glitching a little bit there, but, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. This is exciting. Right. I like your point about, that song Rude?
Yeah. That song is going through my head right when he starts talking to me.
Yeah. It's like, truth is, like, your best move is, I mean, you got to be honest with the kid, right? And like open, but it's just like, all right, like,
why do you have to be so rude? I'm going to marry her anyway.
I'm going to marry her anyway. So congratulations, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, man. We'll see great. What happens here. Probably not got another wedding coming up here pretty soon, so
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Let's jump into it, Brannon.
Let's do it. So go ahead.
Yeah, we have
introduce him.
Yeah, we have a repeat caller, episode 464. We got Jordan. So if you guys are listening and you want to kind of like compare and contrast the episodes, you'll kind of get a lot more of the backstory there too, and where Jordan was at a few months ago to where we're at now. And Jordan, we're so glad you're back on here with us and happy to have another discussion with you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back here.
Yeah, catch us up a little bit on kind of from the first meeting till now. Tell any part of your story that you care to, especially parts that would be helpful for us to help you. And then let's dive into your question.
Yeah. So back when we last spoke, me and my ex were trying to navigate things. And, I think when we last spoke, we touched on that a lot, like just what I was doing versus what I couldn't do, and how the work I was doing just felt like it wasn't ever going to meet expectations. And so I can't quite remember how long it was after we talked, but we went on a trip with our son, took him on a birthday trip, and there was some things that came up over the weekend, and it really made me, and I think it's through the work that I did through the last year, just becoming more emotionally aware and just in tune with myself. I saw some things and some patterns, and I realized that the work that I was doing and the way I was showing up was really like, it was never going to be enough. And I'll touch on that in a minute. But I spoke with my wife at the time, when we got back from that trip, and I said, look, this is what I'm seeing. And I just feel like I am taking steps forward for myself, and I'm reaching back to try to hold your hand and bring you with me. And it's just you're refusing to take the steps with me. I just laid it out there for her, and I said, I'm not going to be the one that decides if we get divorced or not. You need to decide right now. Not right now. I said you need to decide for yourself if you want to try to make this work or not. I'm not going to. As I said, I'm not going to make you make a decision right now. But you need to decide for yourself if you want to try to make this work. And if you don't, then you need to let me know, and we'll get divorced. So I said, I'm gonna let you sit on this for a little bit, because I'm just feeling like I'm not feeling like you're wanting to make this work. And so I gave her some time. The next evening we sat down, and I said, did you think about things? And she said, I did, and I think we should get divorced. And I asked her why. I said, okay, can you at least tell me why? Because the way I've showed up for you is what you've said you've needed from me. And to jog like the viewers mind from what happened last time, there was a lot of like the main reason was like I had a lot of resentment in my heart, and I was pretty distant from her, and so I wasn't giving her the affection that she said she needed. We were basically just roommates living together, and so she stepped out of the marriage, and so I asked her back, now moving back forward to the discussion, I said, can you give me the reason why? And she said, I just know I'll never be good enough for you. And that was it. And so I said, I think that's a cop out, because you're putting my expectations, like you're blaming my expectations for this divorce. And I only expect what's necessary. And I want you to show up for me the way I'm showing up for you. I want you to just give me a hug, tell me that I'm worth it. Just validate me staying in this relationship after you stepped out on me. Like, tell me that I'm worth it after you stepped out on me. And so she couldn't. And I told her it was a cop out, and I was very frustrated. And I said, I think it's a cop out. Like, that's just a horrible excuse. And then so the next day I did some thinking, and the next day I approached her and I said, I believe that you feel too much shame and guilt for what happened, and you're not able to look at yourself in the mirror, and that's why you're not doing work for yourself. And she looked at me dead in the eyes and said, you're right, I can't do it. She goes, I feel too guilty, and I can't do the work for myself, and so I think this is why we need to get divorced. And I said, okay. So and that's kind of what happened. And so I, through this journey since the divorce, and we're legally divorced now, and through the process of divorce, it was really healthy. It was a really healthy dissolvement of our marriage. We agreed on most things, and I really just wanted to like close that chapter for myself. And so and then moving forward through the separation process, and that's kind of why I'm calling today, is that I'm really just like, there's so much resentment in my heart, and just anger for what happened. And I work on myself daily. I listen to your podcast and other podcasts. I journal. I meditate. I pray. I listen to music. And I'm not saying like that I'm trying to avoid things that hurt. I'm just trying to, like, right now, that anger and hate in my heart, it sucks, because we have 2 kids together, and I have to show up and navigate my life with her every day. And I want to be the best father I can be for my children. And I feel like I do a really good job, and I'm not trying to brag or gloat, but I feel like I do a really good job. I've never obviously I've never badmouthed her to our children. I've never showed them any sort of negative emotion. I talk about their mom around them like I love her, like she matters, and like we're a family, like she's included, like we're a team. Like today I said, like, my daughter said something, and I said no, and I said your mom and I are on a team, so even if you go talk to her, we're on a team, and she's going to tell you the same thing. And and so I try to do everything in a really positive, healthy way for them, but deep down inside, like, for myself, I just have this anger in my heart, and it hurts, like physically it hurts. And I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate that in the best way possible, for myself. And then, yeah, just like really that, like, how can I move forward in this life in the best way for me? And it's not only for like my kids, but it's for me. Like, I want to be able to continue moving forward. And I understand, like, there will be triggers for a very long time. There will be thoughts for a very long time. Like, I'm not like, I know that I need to give myself grace, but like, I still want to have all the tools in my toolbox possible, right? Like, I still, and that's, why I'm coming to you guys, because yeah, so that's really like where I'm at now, what I'm going through. So
when did the divorce finalize? How long has it been?
I can't hear you, Brandon. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Jordan, I can hear you, and I can hear Brannon, but he did get disconnected for a second. So I'm wondering
I can't
if
hear you guys.
You can't hear? Let's try.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So we can't hear him. So we can hear each other, Tyler, but we can't hear him.
Let's try this one thing. All right, Jordan, can you hear anything now?
Yeah, something happened.
Can you hear now?
Give me your lips, but I can't hear you.
Okay.
There we go.
Right. Is
I
there
can hear you
anything
now.
better now?
Yep.
Brandon, can you hear?
Yeah.
I can't hear Brannon.
Can't hear me?
All right. Is that any better, Brannon?
Hear me? Hello?
Still can't hear him.
But you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Yes. And I can hear Brannon, but
Weird.
I can't, but you can't hear him.
And I can hear you both.
What the heck? Maybe you can just translate Brandon's questions.
I can hear you both.
That's interesting. Let's do one more thing really quickly, Jordan, and sorry to our audience here. We'll come right back on here with this. I'm going to stay on since mine seems to be working just fine. Both of you guys completely remove yourselves and come back in, and let's just see if we can get that to work properly.
Okay.
Sorry to the guys who are here with us. We're trying out a new system still, and hopefully we're going to get this figured out and it'll be right and better for everyone, but we're still working out the kinks a little bit. So we've got Brannon back now, and you can hear.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's try Jordan here. Let's get him back in here. And Jordan can hear me. Can he hear Brannon?
Hello?
Hey, I can hear you guys.
Hey.
Perfect. It worked. That was weird.
That was really strange. I think something happened when Brannon moved. He moved and then it kind of disconnected and it split everything for a second. So I think that's what it was.
Blaming me.
Yeah, it's always Brandon's fault.
Yeah,
it's always Brandon's fault. So anyway, we're on together. Let's pick back up here. So just to kind of recap what you've shared in a short period of time, you kind of went through kind of the painful part, and you probably read it right. And your ex was like, yeah, I am in a ton of shame, and I'm not in a place to do that work. That led to the divorce. Now you're in a relationship where, because you guys have kids together, you have to interact with each other. You're trying to provide a united front as parents, but deep inside yourself, you're still really wrestling with a lot of anger and a lot of resentment towards her.
Yes.
And you're like, I'm doing everything I know how. I'm taking care of myself. I'm doing my dailies, but I still have this kind of like deep-seated resentment. Let's talk about how to deal with the resentment. Is that good? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
All right. So, and then I was just kind of wondering, if you were to sit with that for just a second, Jordan, but if we could crack into your head and pull the actual story out, like we were reading it in a book, like what is the story that goes on in your head that is connected to the anger and the resentment?
Yeah. That's a great question. And it's a question I put a lot of thought to, and I've sat with a lot. And I think the story that is in my head is that I don't understand how, like, I'm the one, like, I was the person that, like, she was supposed to love, never betray, like, trust the most. And the story that I always tell myself, because it's I was told, and it's what I know, is that, like, it was an emotional affair, a physical affair, and it all happened when she was laying in bed with me at night. And, like, and it just hurts deeply. And I just, and I just, and, like, what I see is that, like, there's no accountability. Like she goes about her life.
Go back to Zoom.
Probably. Let's try this one more time, Brannon, and see.
Cut out. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Weird. So, okay, so this, but there's just no accountability. Like she goes about life now with me like everything is normal and fine and healthy. Like, for Christmas, she brought the kids over here Christmas morning, because Santa does gifts at Dad's house too, which she almost didn't, but she did, and I appreciated that. And she actually brought, like, several presents for me, which I thought was very strange behavior. Like, and it was really uncomfortable for me. Like, there was gifts from her, gifts from the kids, gifts for me and my dog. Like, it was just strange and like hurtful in a lot of ways. And I just feel like in her life, it's just, like, easier to live like things always were, just not married, and continue to ignore what happened. And so that's, like, the story I tell myself. And it's like, until, like, I know I'm probably never going to get closure. I'm probably never going to get the sorry, like, the real, true, deep apology. But I feel like I hold on so often to, this feeling is not going to go away until I get that.
Until you get her accountability.
Yeah, right. Like, really saying, like, showing up and saying, like, I'm really, really sorry. Like, this is the truth of what happened. This is how I hurt you. Like, just acknowledging it and taking accountability for that.
Do you see the setup for yourself with that?
Yeah, you mean, like, how is it affecting me?
Well, just how that sets you up to give her all the power.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's for sure.
Yeah.
I do.
I understand why you have that story. It makes a lot of sense, but
Yeah,
it puts you in a powerless position.
I know. Yeah, and that's something I journal about a lot, is like I I get to redefine my story for what it is. Like, I have I tell myself those things, but deep down inside, like, I just feel this way still, and that's where I'm at.
Well, think about, Jordan, think about what that resentment and anger does for you. So, like, it's like, well, I can't let go of it until she apologizes. So that's showing that it's serving a function, like there's a purpose to it. So what are you thinking that it's doing for you?
It's like a double-edged sword, because sometimes I feel like it's not serving me. There's not a purpose. And then sometimes I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm just like, yeah, this 2026 is my year. I'm going to show her what I'm capable of, what she missed out on. Like, it's just, I use it as fuel for myself, but I don't know if that's healthy. And that's so.
Yeah, I wonder, like, if we could just explore that question Brandon just asked a little bit more. This is just something that's going through me as you're talking, and especially with what you just said about, I'm going to use it as my year. Like, this is going to be everything she missed out on. Like, again, there's a story behind using that as motivation. And when I asked you the story earlier, you started this story, but you didn't actually say the dialogue inside of what's going on in your head. You kind of said, this is the person that's supposed to this and this and this. And then she did this to me while I was lying next to her in bed. Like, therefore what? Like, what's the actual story? And And I wonder if there's part of the story here that you're in the process of grieving loss still, as you should be. Anybody would be. And the resentment's an interesting tool that allows you to still cling to her without having to be as vulnerable, and while also still somehow staying divorced.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is that it's the fuel that's kind of keeping you somehow connected, possibly, even though it's driving you crazy.
Yeah. I never really thought of it like that. Like, it's still allowing me to like cling to her in a way.
Yeah. She spends a lot of time in your head and your being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's interesting. Like you can hear the codependency of like, I'm going to have a great year and I'm going to be so healthy and awesome so that I can prove to her that she missed out.
Yeah.
I need to reinforce to her shame that she really made a bad mistake by leaving me.
Yeah.
She still holds so many cards. Like, even if you go meditate 8 hours a day and exercise for the other 8, if the backdrop is because I'm going to prove myself to her, you're still in that place where you haven't moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter what you do. Right?
Yeah. And see, this whole time, like, I've been telling myself, like, I'm not codependent. I don't need her. Like, I'm better by myself. Like, I'm content. I have more peace in my life. But yeah, I think maybe deep down, like you guys are telling me, like, I am codependent on her, and that's.
It makes me wonder, Jordan, of like what you're having a hard time separating her actions from you. Like, and I try to be really careful when I talk to a betrayed person when I say this, but like, what she's done is not about you.
Mm-hmm.
Her lack of accountability, her cheating on you, her hurting you, that has nothing to do with you. Now you're like, but I'm going to be good enough and prove to her that she made a big mistake. Or why couldn't she love me? I was so good. Like, I don't like to actually consider it has nothing to do with you takes control out of your hands.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're already divorced and the control is out of your hands. So you have this illusion of control with this resentment and codependency that's not even working for you. And this over attachment to her. Now, when I say it's not about you, what do you think? How does that feel?
I mean, it feels good. And like, that's what I tell myself that too. And I think what I'm hearing is like, her decisions have nothing to do with me. Like, it has nothing to do with me. Like, I am enough because I'm enough. I didn't cause her to cheat on me. Like, I didn't force her to cheat on me. I didn't force her to divorce from me. I didn't force her to continue these actions that she's still, like, is that what you're saying? Because like, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Are you a good man?
Yeah.
Are you a good father? Yes. Are you loved? Are you like, do all of those things exist, whether she like chooses to love you or chooses to reject you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, right? I don't feel like you know that. Like, I feel like you know it up here, but do you know it down here? And so your resentment is coming back and saying, I gotta go like still prove to her that I'm lovable.
Yeah.
And why are you proving that to her? Like, you got to find that within yourself, because it's going to be really hard to let go of resentment toward her who has rejected you.
Yeah.
Unless you figure that out inside of yourself.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. There's ways to do it. So.
Yeah.
How does that land with you, Jordan?
I mean, it hurts in good ways because, like, I think, like, I spend so much time telling myself the opposite of that. Like I tell myself, like, I guess for me, like, when I look at myself, like, I don't want to feel like I don't feel loved or that I'm not enough. Like, because like, that's what hurt so bad in the beginning. And it's why I got into such a bad place when this all happened. And it's why I went into spiraling depression, is because I felt like I wasn't enough and I felt like I wasn't lovable. And I did so much work for I've continued to do so much work for myself over this past year. Like, it's been a year now. And like, I feel like I've gotten to this place where I feel so much better than I did before. So I think for me, it was like, well, now I do feel loved. I do feel like I'm good enough. But I think from what I'm hearing is like my actions deep down inside, because like this place of like resentment and hate in my heart is still coming from that place of like subconsciously, like I don't feel like I'm enough still. And I'm trying to prove to her like I am.
That's
where, no, go ahead, Tyler.
No, go. I was just saying that's what we're saying. How does that land with you? Does that feel like there's some truth to that?
Yeah, it does. It does. And like you guys are the first people. I go to therapy weekly and I haven't heard that. So you guys are the first people that have told me that.
Well, and I take it a step further, Jordan, and ask why? Like, where does that come from?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a strong history of like bad like relationships. Like I've always been hurt and cheated on and let down. So I don't know if it's, I mean, I think it comes from before Aaron, ever since like, I mean, even high school, like I went through like some verbally abusive relationships and I was cheated on before. And so like maybe from there, I don't know.
But let's look at that for a second more as the fruits, not the roots. So like, why are you finding women that will reject you and cheat on you and hurt you?
I think it
come from.
I don't know, because initially things seem great. Like things seem like things always start out good, right? Like you're always in like that new phase of like love and like exploration, and like it's new. You're just dating somebody, and then I think like I get to a point, and I think what I'm feeling is like I get to a point where things eventually flip. The script flips, and then things aren't good anymore. But I stay attached, and then that's when bad things happen. And so, like I guess I don't really know how to like answer the question well. Like,
could I ask two questions?
Yeah.
Jordan, the first one is as Brannon's kind of going after some of this right now, your body language has done some interesting things. If you checked into your body right now, like what are the emotions that you would say are present?
Like sadness.
Yeah.
I don't know, just pain.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to create just a split second for space for that, Jordan. I just want you to know that Brannon and I at least are here as witnesses to that. And of course you're feeling that. Anybody who goes through what you've been through is going to feel that pain and sadness. Anybody.
Yeah.
So there's no judgment in that. I want there to be a space for you to be seen going like, it's okay to feel that way. To jump back on where Brannon was going with you, if it's okay inside of that. And this is where sometimes I wonder if we're so unconscious of the internal workings that we keep repeating history without knowing. And it's like really exasperating and it's really, really frustrating. And I'm wondering, and Brannon, you can correct me if you're going in a different direction than this, but I'm wondering if like these past relationships, my approach to those relationships was such that I'm going to find somebody who scratches the itch of helping me feel complete.
Yeah.
And by nature of doing that, I'm also pairing myself with somebody who's coming in with a similar energy. And so they're looking for you to complete them too.
Yeah.
And then the Twitter patient wears off because it always does. And now there's two people who are going, but am I enough? Am I enough? Am I enough?
Yeah.
And there's not enough to extract back and forth from each other to ever scratch that itch fully. And then you're like, but she was so good. Like she loved me. She couldn't wait to see me. She told me how awesome I was. Like sex was great, whatever else. Like then all of a sudden it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, but what was I going into the relationship for? Like, was I going there to sign up with somebody on a spiritual path of growth and challenge and struggle and healing and connection? Or was I getting into it with somebody who had the same energy as me of, man, we need to complete each other because it's too scary.
Yeah.
And that's where I think Brandon's questions are going is like, where did you learn that?
Yeah.
If that's true, if any of that's true.
Yeah. Like I do, like I do feel like that has been the case. Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, I know it doesn't come from like early childhood because like I was loved. Like I had a great family growing up, a very loving family. I don't believe that it comes from there. Like I know in high school, like again, like I think it goes back to really probably I feel like the high school. Like there was, I was going through the awkward stage. I had a ton of acne. Like and I did hear my family say some pretty damaging things to me. Like they felt bad for me because of how I looked, and I heard that like I wasn't supposed to, but I heard it at night one time. My parents talking, and they were just concerned. They just were concerned, like I would be as a parent, but I heard that, and my grandma would always say things to me like, "Oh, your poor face," and just directly to me. And then there was little kids who would say like, "What's wrong with his face?" And I think like I don't know if it comes from there. Like I know that I still feel. I don't know where like that codependency or like trying to get that like itch scratch comes from. I really don't.
I would guess there's something to that, to what you're bringing up, but I would guess that's not the full thing. So I think you're probably unconscious of some little T trauma that you've had, and it's really developed. I like where Tyler started. It's developed this story, and the story that I'm hearing is that I'm gonna be rejected because I'm not good enough. And it sounds like, and hang in here with me, Jordan, when I say this, because I'm trying to help you through this resentment.
Yeah.
But it sounds like your ex-wife played her part perfectly in the story that you created. Now, I'm not letting her off the hook for her indiscretions or whatever she did, right? But you found a perfect person for that story.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
So when I say that to you, there's good news in this. It's that you have ownership and you can create something different. But in order to create something different, you're going to have to face one of your scariest demons. And you're touching on it as you're talking about your acne and the things that you heard, and just those moments of I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, people don't want me or desire me.
Yeah.
Those things are playing out now as an adult, and you're saying like, yeah, but I know that's not true, but you don't know that's not true.
Yeah.
And so you'll repeat this pattern and find another woman to prove you right again. Unless you actually stop and deal with that fear. What do you think about what I'm saying? Like, how are you feeling about that?
No, it makes sense, and I'm just accepting it for what it is. I feel like that's true.
Could we say she's done a great job?
Yeah. Yeah.
You had a hard time saying that.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Really well, right?
Yeah.
And you've done a great job for her too. She just doesn't know it yet. And when you get all ripped and buffed and have a six-pack and you're world's best dad, and she can just really regret that she actually said no to you and got divorced to you, you'll continue to do a great job for her.
Yeah.
In manifesting the very things that you guys really didn't want in the first place.
Yeah.
And so that's it though, because, and this is where I think we're trying to tie back into the resentments you feel. Yeah. Again, we're trying to empower you here. Did what she do was wrong? Yes. Did she probably make a pretty rash decision based out of shame? That's very, very possible. Is it okay that you don't like those things? Yes. Does it suck that you have to have the loss and the grief of the relationship opened up every other day when you're there with opening presents or dropping off kids or doing parenting stuff today? That sucks. But I would bet that the resentment is only partially about all of those logistics, and the resentment is actually about like the more you tap into that true, like, and I'm holding my heart self-love, compassion, gratitude, identity work, the less the resentment is going to be there, because those things are interconnected with each other. Like because she is the mirror image right now of the story, you're going to resent that.
Yeah.
Right. So somehow the story has to change, and the story is not going to change without some like heart work. The head work's great. You need to do the head work. You're doing that. And I even hear you doing some heart work. You're doing your dailies. You're practicing the stuff. You got some of those tools. But yeah, I think you're walking yourself to the mouth of the cave of, I need to have a different experience with what it's like to be alone. And I need to have a different experience with what it's like to have, I've got to learn to experience rejection from a woman differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's going to suck.
Yeah.
Because that's going to take some reps and some practice and some other internal work that's not fun.
Yeah. And it's like I think like I'm trying to like, when you said like the rejection thing just a minute ago, like I tell myself now that like dating sounds gross to me. Like I don't even like want to date. Like I'm trying, and I think that might be a protective measure for myself, because I think deep down inside, like I don't want that again. Like I'm finally at a place where I'm like working on myself, doing good things for myself, trying to do good things for myself, and going to the gym again, and eating right, and showing up as a father, and taking care of myself. Like the last priority for me in my life is like it's not that I want to go find a partner. I'm like refusing to even acknowledge that. Like I'm trying to like turn the other way and just say, nope, I don't want that. Like that sounds gross to me. Like I don't want that. But maybe that's a protective measure. Like even if it finds me, like I'm still like in my heart and just like, nope, that's doesn't sound good. I don't want that. I'm just going to refuse it. Like,
yeah. Is there another way, but somewhere in between, I really, really need you to love me, and I want to prove myself to you so that you see that I'm good, versus I'm good, don't need love, I'm out. Like, is there something totally different than either one of those things?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. And what is that?
Like, I think for me, like what I'm telling myself is like, if I can get to like the place in my life where I don't subconsciously or like deep down feel, if I can work on these challenges that I'm facing and really break them down for what they are and figure them out and heal from them, then I think I can approach a relationship like I'm enough for me regardless of what happens in this relationship.
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. As long as it's not a push away, because it's like, I don't want to get rejected. You're creating rejection either way, right? Whether you're in a relationship and like I'm sure, Jordan, there's parts of, if we were to talk to her, if she really like opened up about some things, and you might be unconscious of this, but she might be like, I was smothered in ways that like are hard to articulate, but I felt that. I felt a lot of pressure, and that pressure made me want to like escape that relationship, right? So you could be working out, helping with the kids, like doing all this stuff, but with the intention of really wanting to be loved, that could create that rejection that we're talking about, right? I love what you're saying of like, take a step back, and this really is the first step, is like, let's not dive into another relationship tomorrow. Like let's chill. Like life's long. You got some time, right?
Yeah.
So take a step back. I love hitting the gym, taking care of your body. Like the more physically healthy you can be, the better, right? Because that sets you up to start to have the energy and do the deep down work of healing those deep wounds inside of yourself.
Yeah.
And what I would encourage you to do is, and I don't know what you're doing with this, but you need to find opportunities to surrender and let go and be present in a moment, and have God come in, or have experience come in and shift, feel something different.
Yeah.
So whether that's through holotropic breath work, or just really good mindfulness practice, or come into a retreat, or an awesome ART EMDR session, like those type of things open up these portals to give you a glimpse that I'm not that kid that got teased for my acne.
Yeah.
I'm actually something different than that. Yeah. And you can feel the gap, and you're like, oh, wait, like I'm different than what I felt. And now I feel different.
Yeah.
So there's awesome things to do. Like there's modalities, there's opportunity. And if you're willing to do those things, not because you're proving yourself to somebody, but because you genuinely want to heal your heart and your soul.
Yeah. Which I do.
It's there for the taking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could I do one small kind of intervention with you right now?
Yeah,
Jordan.
please.
Something you probably already do, but just go with me on this for a second. What would you want to replace the question of "I don't know if I'm enough" with? Like, what would you want that to be replaced with?
I am enough.
I am enough. Okay. So let's go with that for a second. Let's imagine, and just kind of be curious with it. You don't have to come up with any right answer or not. Just go with whatever comes up, okay? Let's imagine that tomorrow morning you wake up and two things have happened. The first is that you've lost the first belief completely. You can't even think it. You don't even know that it exists, that I'm not enough. And all that's there in that moment is just a belief that it's absolutely true that I'm enough. When you wake up in the morning, what do you anticipate that would feel like in your body?
More drive, more confidence, getting up and like just seizing the day for what it is. And
Cool. What about your body itself? Where would you feel it the most?
Probably my heart.
Your heart. And what would that sensation be if you gave it like a color or a texture or something like that? What would it be?
Like smooth texture, like green or some sort of bright color, yellow maybe.
Okay, so some kind of bright color, smooth in your heart. Would it be small or big? Would it be full, or would it be in a particular part of your chest or heart?
Yeah, I think it'd be my whole chest. It'd feel very full and whole.
Okay, so you'd have this radiant color that's kind of expanding through you, and you'd have energy, you'd have drive. What would the first 2 or 3 hours of your day look like if that's all you could feel?
Well, I think two things. Number one, that on the days that I have the kids, I think I would be more fun. I think I'm a good dad. I show up in all the ways, and but I think I would be more fun with them. Just that, and then go to work and just have more drive to work hard and complete actions that need to be done. And on the days that I don't have the kids, get up and go to the gym bright and early before the sun comes up. And because I find myself a lot of times like sleeping until the last minute possible still. And not a lot of, I have drive, like I do all the things for myself every single day, but like I would have more drive. So getting up and going to the gym bright and early, then going to work and just tackling tasks.
Cool. One more question for you. Let's say you go through a whole day of the only belief about you that could be there is I am enough. And you feel it, like all of that expansive stuff in your chest, like you feel it. Like not only what would you do, but what do you anticipate the outcomes would be in certain areas of life, socially, work? Like what would be the fruits of that in your life?
Yeah, I mean, all the best things that I can imagine for myself, and in time, I mean, like for my business, like it would just be like I would just be, just completing all of the tasks necessary to, bridge gaps and be successful in all the best ways. And socially, I would be going out more and doing more things with my friends versus just sitting on the couch with my dog. And just really like spearheading everything in my life, just doing all the best things for myself.
You'd be taking care of yourself in all those healthy ways. You still listed the doing you would be doing, but what would be the outcomes? Those are part of the outcomes, but what would be the outcomes in your life?
Just more happiness in all areas of my life.
Yeah. Can you just sit with that for a second? Can you actually tangibly feel any of that happiness as it seeps in?
Yeah. Right before I said that, I could feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What you're having happen right now is the kind of thing Brannon's describing, where it's like, wait a second, I am actually on a cellular level experiencing the newness of what we're talking about here. And if I get more time, more reps, more familiar, I can actually rewire myself into actually having this be more the default setting than the first place. Yeah. Brannon, can you see the change in his body language? Look how much softer his face muscles are. And look how like, what if you cultivated time every day to create the energy of what it means to be enough?
Yeah.
And feel it. Allow yourself to fully feel it and contemplate what those outcomes would be.
Yeah.
That would be maybe a starting point that would lead you into other places like the things Brannon's talking about.
And when you show up in that moment with her, if you've done this and you've really taken care of yourself in that way, when she gives you that look, you don't like trigger into resentment or rejection or whatever, because it's independent of her. She can give you whatever look there is, right? Because you really are like, okay, like you're fine.
Like I believe what I'm saying. I believe that I am good. Yeah.
And I'm going to jump ahead here, Jordan, because we're out of time. But like, do you know when you know that you're kind of moving beyond this resentment, like how that feels? Do you know what that looks like?
You mean like in the future?
Yeah, or let's say a miracle happened and you felt it today. Like what would that feel like? I'm not saying
it'd be very freeing. It'd be very freeing.
Yeah. Are you a kind person?
Yeah.
Are you a loving person?
Very.
Yeah. And you would feel those things toward her. You would have compassion for her and for her pain.
Yeah.
And have an understanding why she did what she did. Not just a deep hurt that she did what she did for you. And that's how forgiveness starts to feel, is like, I have compassion for you. Yeah. I'm not taking it personal anymore. And so because of that, like, I'm separate from you and my worth. And so then I can love you where you're at. But that means I'm going to have boundaries with you. Like there can be boundaries around this. I'm not diving head deep into a relationship again. Like, that's not happening. But I have compassion for you. Yeah. And that is freeing. Like that frees your heart and your soul. And there's a process to get there, Jordan. You don't have to feel that today. The pain that you're in, your divorce is fresh. The resentment that you have actually is healthy because it's saying protect yourself.
Yeah.
But I guess what Tyler and I are saying is, before you just go to, she needs to fix all these things, let's go to, what is this resentment? Like, what information does this give you to go deal with yourself?
Yeah.
Right. And, dude, you're going to crush it, man. You're going to look back on this and be like, really grateful for all this pain that you've been through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can do the work. I have no doubt about it, Jordan. And, I'd love to see you in our retreats. I'd love to have you in a group of mine. Like, if we can help in any way, it sounds like you're already doing a lot.
Yeah.
We can support you, help you, whatever we can do for you.
I've been strongly considering it, especially coming to a retreat.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. So
yeah, you're a good dude, man. It's awesome to visit with you again. You can feel a sincerity in the work you're trying to do here. And I think that sincerity also is going to take you a long way if you continue to cultivate that with the right kind of humility. I'm going to put this up on the screen. This is a comment that just came through for you. It just says, I relate to all of this in my journey. learn and accept to be content with yourself. It takes a lot of surrender and hard looks at yourself. Thank you for sharing. So there's at least one other person here who kind of understands a little bit of what you're going through. And I just hope you can feel some support even from a total stranger.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you to our listeners for being here with us as well. Thanks for riding through this as we try to figure out some of the things we're doing. One of the things about
the technical issues.
One of the things about going live with something is you have to take the bumps and bruises in front of everybody, and that's what we're doing today. So
happy to be that.
Yeah. And you are that right now for yourself too. You're going to take some bumps and bruises just by, you're going to probably get done with this and really start thinking about the stuff we went after today. And hopefully that'll be helpful to you too. But if this is meaningful to any of our listeners, you can throw a shout out to Jordan. The best ways to do that is in a review on any of the platforms where you can review the podcast, or you can message Brannon or myself, or share it with somebody else. And thank you guys again for being here and being part of what we're trying to do. And until next time, keep on keeping on.